What's going on, guys? It's your boy DIVIJ. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the amazing The Breakfast Club. Guest on this show was Meg Thee Stallion. If you guys don't know her, she's an incredible female artist who's had some pretty insane hits. She had Hot Girl Summer. She's got a bunch of other records, and now she's got a new EP that just dropped called Sugar. It was really cool to see a side of Meg Thee Stallion that I haven't seen, because the only time I've actually seen her is on, I think it was the XXL cover, seeing her rap, and she obviously crushed that. Like, she's amazing. She had a song with DaBaby. So I was excited to see this interview because I wanted to get to know her on a personal level, and turns out I'm actually very impressed. She seems very intelligent, very smart, and she's got a great personality. So let's get right into it. The first thing I noticed about Meg Thee Stallion was that she's very, very humble. She thinks that she has so much more potential, and that she sees herself not as poppin' yet, but she has a long way to go in her career, and that she just wants to keep working. I thought that's really cool, because I feel like a lot of artists, female or male, you know, a lot of times when they blow up, you know, it gets to their head, they become very Hollywood, and you see that in a lot of artists, but I don't think that is the case with Meg Thee Stallion at all. It's kind of cool to see her sort of initial beginning. She said her mom was a rapper, and growing up, like, she'd be in her room hearing her mom rap, so she'd actually go up to the door and listen into these raps and sort of gain inspiration. So I'm not surprised that Meg Thee Stallion's a rapper. Obviously, it ran in the family, and she said that she would actually steal her mom's CDs, and then her mom would be like, "Where are my CDs?" And then Meg Thee Stallion would be like, "Oh, I don't know, like, I don't have them." But realistically, she was building and honing in on her craft. And then when she tells her mom, like, "Hey mom, like, I can rap," her mom's like, "No, I don't believe it." And then she spits bars. She said she spat over 2 Chainz song "I'm Different." You know, the instrumental on that is like dun 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 dun, dun, something like that. It's super hard. I'm sure she absolutely killed it. I actually would love to hear that that first freestyle that she did. If anyone knows where that is, I would love to see it, because I want to see what she sounded like before she, you know, popped off. And then Angela Yee was like, "But you have 3 songs that went platinum." Like, that's pretty insane, and that's obviously very impressive, because you don't see a lot of artists going platinum, especially 3 times. Like, that's incredible. So shout out to Meg Thee Stallion for that. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. It seems like she's got a very, you know, good mindset. She seems very positive. She seems very grateful, and that's always good to see. I think, you know, a lot of people watch The Breakfast Club, and, you know, you hear a lot of negative things from other artists that they're saying, and there's a lot of drama, and they're talking about guns and violence, and that's sort of a big element of rap nowadays, is the guns and the drugs, and it is what it is. It comes with sort of the culture. It was cool to see that Meg Thee Stallion's talking about, you know, going to college and her GPA. She said she had a 2.7, so obviously it's not the best GPA, but I mean, she's got a whole rap career to handle, and she's in school. Like, she wants to build hospitals and stuff, and she was saying how she wants the kids that she was in school with to actually be the people who, like, are running those hospitals, which is so awesome, because, you know, as a college grad, I've experienced graduating and then not having any experience and not being able to get a job, but then companies are like, you know, we can't hire you because you've never had a job, but it's like, I just graduated. So it's like, that opportunity becomes very difficult to get that opportunity. So I think it's cool that she plans on bringing that to her classmates, which is awesome. Just the fact that she's still she's rapping, she's killing it. She's probably one of the top female artists, and she's simultaneously in school. Like, like, she opened for Future, and I think it was Meek Mill. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, opening up for Future and Meek Mill and then having an assignment due the same night as your concert. Like, most people would probably just quit school. I know I would have dropped out, but it sounds like she really stuck with her, you know, her goals, and, like, I think that's honestly incredible. Another thing she talked about was meeting, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce for the first time. I think that was super interesting. I'm not surprised that, you know, she was shocked when she met Beyonce. Of course, Beyonce's a, you know, freaking legend, and they had a pajama party. One thing I did want to say was that Meg Thee Stallion's stylist apparently brought her pajamas late, so then Meg Thee Stallion was late to that party. Like, I would have fired that stylist, because as a stylist, you've got one responsibility, and that's to bring these pajamas to Meg Thee Stallion by a certain time so that she's not late to Beyonce's party, and this stylist brings it to her late. Like, that stylist should be absolutely fired immediately. I don't know who you are, bro, or a female or whatever, but you should be fired from your job. And I'm sure you already were fired, so. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Charlamagne. Of course, he is known for pressing his guests and obviously bringing up not only inappropriate things, but things that are maybe, you know, more dramatic, things that the viewers would want to hear. And he definitely presses Meg a lot about her contract issues. You can tell that Meg does not want to talk about it. She explicitly says, like, this is a legal battle sort of situation, I can't talk about it. And he keeps on pressing her to the point where it's like, all right, bro, like, you need to chill. And I think he was a little bit excessive in this one, but again, I love Charlamagne the God. He's probably my favorite radio host of all time. So shout out to Charlamagne the God. I freaking love you. I actually saw him on a plane going to, I don't know where I was, I think he was going to Arizona or something like that. But yeah, he's a cool dude, man. He's got so much swag, people running up to him and stuff. So shout out to Charlamagne the God. One thing in terms of music industry talk, Meg Thee Stallion was saying that her management, you know, she was obviously having some management issues, and her management at first didn't want her to put out music. Now this is something I hear, you know, being in the music industry and hearing this from my friends who are artists, and they always tell me, like, some of them tell me, like, oh, my management doesn't want me to put out songs right now, like, we're waiting 6 months. And it's like, the music is how these people are getting paid, right? Like, when the music comes out, you do tours, you do merch sales, you do all these different things. Like, that's how you're getting paid as management. So why would you want your artist to not put out music? And that's something that I don't believe in at all. I think if you got records, even if they're not the best quality, like, put them out, because I think the way that Russ did it was incredible. Songs every week on SoundCloud for like 3-4 years. Like, that's incredible. I think that's the right way to do it. So yeah, I don't agree with that method, but you know, some management companies, you know, they must have some sort of logic behind it. Again, I can't get with that. You know, I think if you're managing a top artist like Meg Thee Stallion, you see the potential. She's probably making hits in the studio. Why would you not want her putting out music? Like, it really makes no sense. They did talk about Meg Thee Stallion's relationship with DaBaby, not in that way, but in sort of more professional, you know, as artist to artist, sort of how they work together. And she was saying how her and DaBaby, you know, do have some stuff coming up in terms of music, but she also said they have some other stuff coming up, which I'm interested to see. The first thing that my mind went to was some sort of TV show or something like that. I think that could be really cool. Even a YouTube channel. I think both of them have huge personalities. They're both hilarious people, amazing music. So curious to see how that music relationship kind of progresses over time, because I think when you're in the club and stuff and you play a Meg Thee Stallion track and you hear a DaBaby track, like, either way, it's the audience or the listener, like, it's lit. Like, you're having a good time. So shout out to Meg Thee Stallion, shout out to DaBaby. I definitely think they should do a you know, a joint album at some point. And that's really it, guys. The last thing, again, you know, Charlamagne the God was pressing her. He was like, you know, Jay Prince or someone else said that Meg Thee Stallion is going to Hollywood too fast. I didn't get that vibe from the interview at all. I got the vibe that she's super humble, super grateful, super hardworking. Her music obviously backs everything up. And I'm rooting for Meg Thee Stallion. I hope that she does amazing things the rest of 2020. And again, you know, she's really incredible, super talented. And yeah, I just can't wait to see. I actually have not listened to Suga. Apparently she's got a song called Captain Hook on there. That's it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what you guys thought about the interview. I got more content coming soon. Probably going to do a reaction to the Lil Baby interview on Ebro, and then a bunch more hip-hop stuff coming soon. I also wanted to announce that I'm now going to start hosting on AfterBuzz TV, which is an amazing after show network, and I'm super, super excited for that opportunity. So, that's all I got for this one. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at LordDiv on Instagram, at LordDiv on TikTok, and then, of course, my YouTube channel. Subscribe to that as well. And I'm making my Twitter and Snapchat today, so we're going to be getting on those very soon. And that's it for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's your boy DivIJ. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.